Thank you.
Everybody ready? I'd like to bring Town Council meeting for June 21st, 2016 to order. Please stand and join me in the pledge. Oops, sorry, Larry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're veering away a little bit here. I would like to have a moment of silence for Richard L. Long, who passed away on June 7th, 2016. Richard served on the Assessment Review Board for 5 years, Zoning Board of Appeals for 1 year, and Planning Board member for 2 years. His love and dedication for this community will be forgotten. Never forgotten.
There you go, Ron.
Altweiler?
Counselor Albert,
Here.
Counselor Colby. Here. Counselor Ward,
Here.
Counselor McTevier,
Here.
Counselor Bickford,
Here.
Counselor Crafts,
Here.
Counselor Brunel.
Here.
Next item. Altweiler?
Is good news and recognition, Order 2016-138, track resolution. You need a motion?
I'd like to have a motion for the track resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll sec. Nope.
All in favor?
Arm wrestle.
Order passed, and the resolution reads as follows. Whereas the Lisbon High School boys track and field team have made the community proud as they claim the Mountain Valley Conference MVC championship title. Whereas the boys team won their 11th straight Mountain Valley Conference track and field championship. Whereas the girls team won the 2016 Mountain Valley Conference championship, the 10th time in the last 11 years. Their streak was broken last year, losing by a half a point. Whereas at the 2016 Class C state meet, the boys placed third as team, with Nicholas Harriman winning the 3,200 meter run. Whereas at the 2016 Class C state meet, the girls placed fourth as a team, with Bree Sauter winning the 400 meter dash. Now therefore, we, the Town Council of the Town of Lisbon, wish to congratulate and thank the Lisbon High School track and field teams and coaches Hall, Sauter, Sylvester, and Fuller for their fine representation of Lisbon while winning the Mountain Valley Championship title. Would those please come forward to be recognized?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Speech for Coach Hall? Speech.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, Coach Hall. You got a couple of words for us.
No. That was it.
Next item, Altweiler.
Yes, you have an executive session, Order 2016-139, 140, and 141. Would you be going into all three of them?
Yes.
Okay, to go into executive session per 1 MRSA Section 405-6E, consultations with legal counsel, Section 405-6A, personnel matters, and Section 405-6D, labor negotiations.
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Need a second?
Sure.
All in favor?
Order passed, 7-0, so
Right in there? Yeah.
meeting in the other room.
No pens.
How you doing?
Good, how you doing? Good to see you.
We get all these lovely people coming out too.
Yeah, roll tonight.
Nice in here.
refrigerator-like.
Yeah.
What do you say, Pat?
Okay, do you want me to do this right now? Okay. Dan Michelle? David Brooks, would you please come to the podium?
Do you want to make a motion
You-
to pass it?
Huh?
Yes.
And a second?
I'll
Yes.
second.
There you go.
All those in favor? And the resolution reads as follows. The members of the Lisbon Town Council, meeting in regular session on June 21, 2016, do and hereby adopt and pass the following resolution. Whereas the following person has served the citizens of Lisbon for 42 years. Police Chief David Brooks began employment with the town of Lisbon in 1974, with a total of 42 years in law enforcement service and 35 and a half of those years as police chief. Whereas Police Chief David Brooks will be retiring on June 30th, 2016, after serving as a leader in the Lisbon Police Department in an exemplary fashion. And whereas his contribution of service to the town of Lisbon and its citizens will always be appreciated. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Town Council of the town of Lisbon, Maine, that Police Chief David Brooks shall be awarded his police badge and service weapon as follows. David T. Brooks, Glock, Model 22, Gen 4, serial number UWZ798. Furthermore, a copy of this resolution shall be given to Chief David Brooks, adopted this 21st day of June 2016. And there's a motion?
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor? The resolution reads as follows. The members of the Lisbon Town Council, meeting in regular session on June 21, 2016, do hereby adopt and pass the following resolution. Whereas the following person has served the citizens of Lisbon for 39 and a half years. Police Lieutenant Dan Michelle began employment with the town of Lisbon in 1976, with a total of 39 and a half years in law enforcement service and 33 of those years as police lieutenant. Whereas Police Lieutenant Dan Michelle will be retiring on June 30th, 2016, after serving as a leader in the Lisbon Police Department in an exemplary fashion, and whereas his contribution of service to the town of Lisbon and its citizens will always be appreciated. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Council of the town of Lisbon, Maine, that Police Lieutenant Dan Michelle shall be awarded his police badge and service weapon as follows. Daniel P. Michelle, Glock, Model 22, serial number UWZ799. Furthermore, a copy of this resolution shall be given to Lieutenant Dan Michelle, adopted this 21st day of June 2016.
Good job.
Backwards, give us swap guns.
Swap times. That looks real official. Right in
Thank
the front
you.
of the room.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
David, stay right there.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, there. It's supposed to go here, a little short for the camera. No privilege to be here this evening. So, with your service, I wanted to present this legislative senator. I'm supposed to have a mic, too, so I gotta try to do this. And hang on this.
So, present this from the legislature, and I would like to take a moment to read it. First one is, well, I'll read this, from the state of Maine. Be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, join to recognizing Daniel Michelle of Lisbon, Lieutenant of the Lisbon Police Department, on this retirement after 39 years of service with the department. Lieutenant Michelle began his career in law enforcement with the town of Old Orchard Beach in July of 1974. Later, working for the town of Winthrop Department in December 1976. He was promoted to sergeant in January 1981 and to lieutenant in July of 18. Wow, no, you're not that old. I know you. How long you been serving? 139 years service. That's amazing.
Starts with dirt, works backwards. That's great.
We extend to Lieutenant Michelle our congratulations on his retirement and offer him our best wishes, and to be in order that the official expression of the sentiment to be sent forthwith on behalf of the 127th Legislature and the people of the state of Maine. And thanks again for your service.
I always knew he was older than me.
Only added 100 years, just like that.
It used to be a month, now it's 100 years.
And another one, again, to be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate, the House of Representatives, joined in recognizing David Brooks, Chief Brooks of Lisbon Falls, Chief of the Lisbon Police Department, on his retirement after 42 years of service with the department. Chief Brooks works briefly with the town of Richmond before joining the Lisbon Department. He was promoted to sergeant in July of 1980 and to chief in December of 1880. Well, you move quick. Wow, that's a good job. He was the youngest police chief in Maine when he was promoted. From 1989 to 1995, he served as a member of the Board of Directors of the Maine Special Olympics. In 1992, he was recognized Chief of the Year. We extend to Chief Brooks our congratulations to his retirement and offer him our best wishes, and to be in order that the official expression of the sentiment to be sent forthwith on behalf of the 125th Legislature and the people of the state of Maine. And thank you again, Chief, for all your hard work and dedication.
You want to say something? You can't talk? I don't have a problem talking. Thank you very much. Thank you for making it possible for both Dan and I to retire at the young age of 62. We're looking forward to many years ahead, not in the law enforcement service. Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Just, do we want to do the other one now?
Let's get it done.
I'm going to make the motion.
Which one are we talking about?
Second one?
Yeah.
I make a motion to second,
To confirm.
to confirm Diane's appointment as an interim chief, Scott Stewart, and the pay range of $700 a week. Is that what we talked about? I make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Order passed, 7-0.
Will he take it? Will you take it?
I tried to get you more, but they're too conservative.
Just real quick, I think it's fitting that I do this, considering both these men had such a pivotal role in my career, both teaching me how to drive and then getting me into law enforcement. Lieutenant Michelle won't claim me as a student anymore, and Chief Brooks always as the mentor that he has been for me. The only reason that I've agreed to do this on top of my duties with Cumberland County is the caliber of police force, the individuals on the force that Chief Brooks and Lieutenant Michelle have. It's going to be an easy transition for me. The place runs itself. So, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
It's so easy when he does it. Why don't you do it full time?
It's on record.
What's that?
It's on record. This one
Okay,
too.
I get one more. I want to make a motion. I'm going to make this one. The town council ratify the one-year collective bargaining agreement with the Maine Association of Police under the terms tentatively agreed to and approved by the Police Collective Bargaining Unit. I made the motion. Do I? Okay, all in favor?
Who made the second? Okay. Order passed, 7-0. Thanks.
Now I think we can go to the next item, Twyla.
Okay.
Public hearing.
Thank you.
Next item, Twyla?
Is under public hearings. At this time, the chair would open a public hearing and invite the speaker to present it, and then the public would be allowed to address it. The A, zoning amendments, Route 196 and villages.
Who's presenting?
Open the hearing.
One of the three of you have a short straw. Who got it?
She's digging.
It just needs to really be a summary. Nothing.
Wing it.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm going to have to, I guess. Again, I'm Karen Paradise, Chair of the Planning Board. This is the public hearing, which is actually for the second hearing, second reading of the few zoning changes. That was basically just more housekeeping. We had a few areas that really were not zoned correctly. It might have been oversights in the past, and basically it's a few spots that we have we suggest considering to change to village, which allows more options for property owners. And again, it's just basically a little housekeeping, and we've made no changes, of course, since you first saw it, and I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, open the next one.
The next public hearing is the special entertainment Friends Lodge.
Okay.
Gotta get a permit, please.
I'll
Well said.
close this one. Did you got, no one got anything to say? Okay,
Nope.
I'll close this one. Open the next one.
The next one is the Time Warner contract renewal.
I'll close this one. Open the next one.
The next one is the 2016-2017 municipal budget and capital improvement plan.
Would you like us to summarize anything?
Please.
or- So, Ed, do you want to start with the capital, and I'll go on to the rest of it?
I think it was the end of April, beginning of May, we talked a little bit about a capital improvement plan for the town of Lisbon. We forecasted out to 2026 for various items. Basically, the items that we included would have our replacement of fire equipment, replacement of police vehicles, paving that is coming up in the next year or so, and looking ahead, other public works equipment that we know that we will need over time, some of which we've budgeted for in this current budget. We had said earlier, the public improvements plan or the capital improvements plan is basically bare bones. It's focused on absolute need and public safety for the citizens of Lisbon. We summarized the cash flows that would be necessary each year, the town participation as well as state participation, including costs of bonds and lease purchases. And nothing has changed since we introduced it back in late April.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, on the municipal budget side, the final proposed budget has an increase of $470,922. The county budget has an increase of $2,734. Our revenue sharing projection for the upcoming year, we project an $82,000 increase or a $600,000 receipt. And our other revenues are totaling $2,315,026, which is a reduction of about $14,680. In the other revenues, that also includes our excise tax, and we are experiencing high excise tax revenue right now. We expect that to go through into the new year. So that has helped mitigate some of the other revenues that we're not going to see in the new year. So the net effect, just on the other revenues, is a $14,680 decrease. Now, with the taxable property value, and the personal property tax still has not been completed yet, but based on the reval figures and what we do have in for personal property tax, we estimate that the mill rate, and this is going to be I think the worst case scenario, we expect the mill rate to decrease by 1 mil as of right now, but we still have some more personal property tax values to go in there. And that's setting the overlay at $223,445.81, and that's an increase of about $78,000 in overlay. And the reason we increase the overlay is we don't know what's going to happen with the reval and if there's going to be any appeals. And also, I decreased out of my budget the increase that I put in abatements, and we will just use the overlay should we have more than $20,000 in abatements because of the reval, if we have any. So in a nutshell, that's where our budget stands. I do want to, for the listening audience, I just want to talk about some of the increases in the budget. As many know, that earlier on in the budget season, council authorized a new software package for the municipal finances. And that service and software for this current budget is $58,823 more. So that's contributing to our increase. We have, under town buildings, repair and maintenance of buildings and repair and maintenance of equipment, and that's an additional 35 some issues that we're going to need to deal with. And under the tax collector wages, we have an increase of $15,600, and that's to have a permanent 20-hour part-time position. As I discussed earlier, it is very busy out in that front office. People have long wait times when they're coming into the building. And then in the Public Works Department, we have $22,000 for culverts, heavy machinery, $60,000. Paving, we're putting in an additional $175,000 this year. And then our additional MDOT match for projects that are going to happen in the upcoming years, where we're going to have to make our first payment in this next fiscal year, is an additional $160,312 on what we currently have budgeted. So all of that I just listed is $546,000 worth of increases, but my net budget is about $470,000 in an increase for increases. What's really driving it is your paving and your MDOT match, and to garner the work that they are going to be investing into this community, which is going to be significant, we have to come up with our match.
So even with all of these increases, we're still looking at a decrease in the mill rate?
Yes, because of the reval, because our values went up, yes.
Questions?
Larry Fillmore from Lisbon. I have to have a disclaimer. The disclaimer is that my figures do not match the town manager's figures. And that is because I take mine off the town website, which she provides. So I can only go by what they give me. Now, since April 13th, the last day of the department head presentations, how many town council budget workshops have been held to try and save tax dollars for the people? None. Not one. When Dale Olmsted was here, he presented the town council that the only way to save tax dollars is a combination of cutting spending and increasing revenue. Simple. What has this council done to reduce spending this year or increase revenue? Okay? On the summary sheet published by the town, it states an increase of $522,508. However, the rest of the documentation in the packet on the town website says it is an increase $473,655. So which is correct? I mean, it's ridiculous that the people are provided these documents and they don't match. And on the order that you people are going to sign, that is on the town website at one point, that I used, and I have all the documents here, it says that the beginning date for the budget is July 1st, 2015, ending date of June 30th, 2016. I think we all know that's wrong. So that needs to be corrected. The point being is, the documents that are published by the town are not consistent. They have figures all over the place. So I don't understand how you can expect the people to follow the rhyme or reason of what's going on when there's no consistency. I'm asking for consistency. That's all. Thank you.
Can I respond to that?
Yep.
The budget hearing notice that was put in the paper for the budget hearing tonight was the increase in the budget was higher at that time, but I had revised the budget further. Right. And the overall increase is $473,656, which of the municipal budget, which is an increase of $470,922, and the county budget of $2,734. Those two equal the $473,656. The reason I break it out by municipal, county, and school is because that's the way we have to record it on the tax bills by law. We have to have it separated. So it makes sense going through this process that I show you the increases in those areas. And the school budget was just passed, and that's an increase of $482,058, which is on my document. So I have those three figures, which will show up on the tax bill if the budget is approved as presented tonight. And Larry, your total figure that you're looking at includes the county. You're looking at the municipal budget plus the county budget. That's why you're seeing a larger increase. You add those two together on my sheet, and it comes up with the total that's on the page. But it includes the actual county budget. But I'm separating them out here so that you know exactly what my municipal increase.
I have the documents here that are published on your website. You can look at them all you want to. They're not the same. It's not consistent. All I'm saying is be consistent with the figures. That's all I'm asking, right or wrong, okay? I'm looking for consistency so that a normal human being who uses your website to determine the budget and what's going on can read it consistently. I understand everything that you just said, and that's why my disclaimer, when I started, all I have to go by is what you provide to the people. And the rationale that goes with it doesn't mean squat to me if we are not consistent with the numbers on the documents you provide.
And the final budget that's adopted will be loaded up on the website. There will be no other changes to this if it's passed tonight, and that's what will be the final one.
Just didn't get updated.
No.
After you've made
I
it.
mean, we do the best we can with
Yep.
what we've got going, but the packet that was
Presented
provided
tonight had the correct information.
has all the correct information. But as you know, going through this, I've made changes after change after change, and
Right.
it gets confusing if you put multiple ones up on that website. But
Anybody else?
As long as
I'll
there's a
close that public
decrease.
hearing. Okay. Next item, Twyla?
The next item is audience participation and response for agenda items.
I'll open audience participation. No one? Okay, close it. Next item?
Next is the consent agenda. Any counselor wishing to have an item removed may do so now. Seeing none. Order 2016-142 to approve a special entertainment permit and liquor license for the Friends Lodge, the minutes of May 3, the meeting, and ratify the June 14, 2016 election results.
I need a motion.
Make a motion to accept?
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Order passed 7-0.
Next item, Twyla.
Under council orders, resolutions, and ordinances, Order 2016-143, the Time Warner contract renewal.
Looks like basically standard stuff to me. You got anything, Alan?
No, most of it's set by state law,
Yeah.
so by all means, I make that motion.
Okay. I need a second.
Second?
All in favor?
Order passed 7-0.
Abatement personal property tax.
Order 2016-144, the abatement personal property tax.
This tax was assessed in error, and it's beyond the time frame that the assessor can do an abatement, so it needs to come to council. And the amount to be abated is $3.36 for a 2015 tax, assessed to Muzak LLC.
I need a motion to abate.
Yep.
Second. All in favor? Next item, Twyla.
Passed 7-0.
Ouch.
Order 2016-145, the audit engagement letter.
This is the annual letter that council has to authorize me to sign to engage the services of our auditor, R.H.R. Smith.
Motion?
I'll make the motion.
Need a second? All in favor?
Order passed. Oh, do we have any opposed?
No.
Yeah, I'm opposed.
All right, so 6-1. Got it?
Anything you like to share in discussion?
No, not right now.
Okay, I just make sure. We kind of cut her short. She'll move on.
Okay.
You're not.
Next item, Twyla.
Next item is Order 2016-146, the zoning amendments for Route 196 and villages.
Second reading.
This is our second reading. It is a roll call vote.
Need a motion?
I'm reckon now, too bad.
Make the motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Counselor Albert?
Yay.
Counselor Bickford?
Yay.
Counselor Colby?
Yay.
Counselor Ward?
Yay.
Counselor Crafts?
Yes.
Counselor McTevier?
Yes.
And Counselor Brunel?
Yes.
We have 7 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed.
Next item?
Order 2016-147, a resolution for the 2016-2017 municipal budget.
Yes.
I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Second it?
Second.
Would that be for, would that be to adopt the following totaling $8,571,765 as follows? For general government, Department 1, the total $1,474,354. For public safety, total for public safety budget, $2,157,654. For public works, $2,825,152. For public services, $846,012. And for general assistance, county tax, economic development, abatements, debt service, and bonds, the total is $1,268,593. Bringing our total to the $8,571,765. Okay.
Do we need a roll call for that?
You may if you like.
Yes, why don't we have one?
Okay. Let me just grab this page here. Counselor Brunel?
Yes.
Counselor McTevier?
Yes.
Counselor Crafts?
Yes.
Counselor Ward?
Yes.
Counselor Bickford?
Yes.
Counselor Colby?
Yes.
And Counselor Albert?
No.
We have 6 yeas and 1 nay. Order passed.
Next item?
Did you want to do the orders separately? I can read them individually or together. You have an order for the municipal budget, one for setting the due date for the taxes and interest, one for
Yeah,
collecting
why don't
taxes
we
in advance.
Read it separately.
See them, okay? We'll
please.
begin with, be it ordered that the municipal budget for the town of Lisbon for the fiscal year commencing on July 1, 2015 and ending 2016. Did I
Is that
type that
correct?
wrong?
You did.
I did it. Be and hereby is adopted with a total expenditure of $8,571,765, balanced with a total of $2,917,026 in estimated revenue. A summary of appropriations is attached to this resolution as Exhibit A. A summary of estimated revenue is attached to this resolution as Exhibit B. All right, and this would be a roll call vote, so do we have a motion for it?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Alan Ward, okay.
All in favor?
All ready for,
roll
do you
call?
want to, you can do either,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, roll call?
Roll call. Counselor Albert?
Yay.
Counselor Colby?
Yes.
Counselor Crafts?
Yes.
Counselor McTevier?
Yes.
Counselor Brunel?
Yes.
Counselor Ward?
Yes.
And Counselor Bickford?
Yes.
We have 7 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed. Next one is be it ordered, the assessor of the town of Lisbon be and hereby is directed to assess a tax upon all real estate in Lisbon and liable to be taxed therein, and to assess the owner of personal estate liable to be taxed therein on the first day of April 2016 AD, and in accordance with the provisions of the state of Maine in such cases made and provided, make perfect lists under her hand of such assessments and commit the same to the collector of taxes and the town of Lisbon on or before the first day of July 2016. All taxes assessed as above collector shall be due on July 1, 2016, that having set the date on which the first installment of taxes shall become due, to wit, July 1, 2016. Any tax remaining unpaid after September 15, 2016 shall bear interest from September 16, 2016 at a rate of 7% per annum. Said interest to be added to and become a part of said taxes, that having set the date on which the second installment of taxes shall become due, to wit, July 1, 2016, any taxes remaining unpaid after March 15, 2017 shall bear interest from March 16, 2017 at a rate of 7% per annum, said interest to be added to and become a part of said taxes.
The multiple.
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Need a second?
Second.
And roll call vote?
Yeah.
Okay. Counselor Bickford?
Yes.
Counselor Ward?
Yes.
Counselor Brunel?
Yes.
Counselor Mativier?
Yes.
Counselor Crafts?
Yes.
Counselor Colby?
Yes.
And Counselor Albert?
Yes.
7 yeas, order passed. Next, be it ordered that the tax collector be and hereby is authorized to accept money prior to and the date of tax commitment in prepayment of taxes at 0% interest, and to issue receipts for the same. It shall be discretionary with the tax collector or town manager to make arrangements through the town of Lisbon Tax Club policy with any taxpayer for a schedule of monthly payments without interest and such arrangements as they jointly deem necessary.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Yes. Second.
My roll,
Yep.
Counselor McTevier?
Yes.
Counselor Crafts?
Yes.
Counselor Colby?
Yes.
Counselor Albert?
Yes.
Counselor Bickford?
Yes.
Counselor Ward?
Yes.
And Counselor Brunel?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, order passed. Next, be it ordered that the following categories of state funds be accepted during the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2015 and ending June 30th, 2000. So it is wrong date?
Yep.
All right, 2016. So, let's start this again. That the following categories of state funds be accepted during the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2016 and ending June 30th, 2017. Municipal revenue sharing, local road assistance, state aid to education, including federal pass-through funds and property tax relief, snowmobile reimbursement money, tree growth reimbursement, general assistance reimbursement, the Betty exemption reimbursement, the homestead exemption reimbursement, state grant and or other funds.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, and by roll call. Counselor Colby?
Yes.
Counselor Bickford?
Yes.
Counselor Albert?
Yes.
Counselor Ward?
Yes.
Counselor Crafts?
Yes.
Counselor Brunel?
Yes.
And Counselor McTevier.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, order passed. And next, be it ordered that the sewer budget for the town of Lisbon for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2016 and ending on June 30th, 2017 be and hereby is adopted with a total expenditure of $1,017,841, balanced with a total of $1,032,500 in estimated revenue. A summary of the appropriations and estimated revenue is attached to this resolution as Exhibit A. Pursuant to Title 30A MRSA, Section 3406, and the town council hereby adopts the following rates for the town's sewage works. $5.35 per 100 cubic feet. The treasurer of the town of Lisbon is hereby directed to assess sewer service charges on a quarterly basis as determined by the water meter readings. All sewer service charges remaining unpaid after the date which they are due shall bear interest at a rate of 7% per annum, and said interest to be added to and become a part of said sewer service charges.
You're right on the ball, Chris.
Yes.
Make that motion.
Second.
All right, and a roll call vote. Counselor McTevier?
Yes.
Counselor Brunel?
Yes.
Counselor Ward?
Yes.
And Counselor Bickford?
Yes.
Counselor Kraus?
Yes.
Counselor Colby?
Yes.
And Counselor Albert?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, order passed.
Next
That
item.
is done. Next item is Order 2016-148, the 2016-17 Capital Improvement Plan.
Need a
Make-
motion?
Make the motion to accept it as presented.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Order passed, 7-0.
Next item, Twila.
We did do the MAP contract, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we're moving to other business. Town managers report.
I have nothing to report tonight.
Next item.
The MS4 update.
Good evening. I'm here to briefly remind you about requirements. We need to meet and discuss it before June 30th of each year. I think in your packet you received a Stormwater 101 little educational thing. We decided not to do a full-fledged presentation this year. And then I have with me a municipal stormwater survey that was prepared by Stillwater Environmental that works with us. This is just to kind of gauge your understanding of the MS4 program. We'll provide it to the planning board members as well, and then probably put it out there just to the public, just so we have some documentation, seeing where we are with educating the public on the stormwater program. So I'll pass these out. Return them to town manager's office after the leisure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other than that, if you have any questions about the stormwater program, I'm happy to go into details now, but if not, then I won't.
Nothing.
I would like to say one other thing about it. My understanding, based on our consultant that we utilize, that of all the DEP audits that they've done so far, Lisbon's one of only 2 communities that have had no violations or any kind of follow-up based on after they audited our program. So it's major progress that we've done last year and a half. So it's good news as far as that's concerned, and just wanted to share that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, Twila.
Department head written reports.
Okay, we've all read them.
Okay. Then the
Next item.
department head oral reports. The police department, Chief Brooks?
Chief Gallipo?
Oh, Chief Gallipo?
I think it's David first. David's on the list first. David and then Chief.
Yeah, well, the chief.
Holding hands.
Were you gonna do one, or he wasn't?
Huh?
Was he still gonna do one?
All right, go first.
Sorry, we had that discussion before you actually came in, and
Oh, I'm
I
sorry
just
about
figured I was gonna probably be a little bit quicker than what Chief Brooks is gonna be.
I already told him no. So again, we agreed tonight.
She's
So-
right. She's right. She did. She lost.
Again,
but
May basically for the fire department in the last quarter is a maintained month, as you can see in my write-up. Our biggest call volume that we've had has been EMS calls, and most of that it's been overdoses. So you know that's an epidemic that's going on. The fire department's actually being affected by that also with our first responder program, and we're pushing Narcan, or helping with pushing Narcan at least sometimes three times a week. So sometimes twice a day. So on some days. So just keep that in mind, that is out there. Lisbon is having the same effects of some of the bigger cities and rural areas out there, so. Maintain month, you know, with training, calls, and host testing is started. Actually, annual host testing is complete, or it would have been complete, except for the last night. We ended up at Gremmel's in Topsom for 10 hours and fighting that fire. I have sent, the chief of Topsom did ask for an itemized bill of everything that we did, so that was about a $3,800 bill as manpower and equipment was concerned, so hopefully we'll be able to get some of that, recoup some of that back from Gremmel's Industries and see where we go there. So being kind of an outside of the norm fire, whenever we go there, it's pretty intense. So, as you're aware, we now purchased car 4. That's actually sitting out in the parking lot when you're out there. It's the only truck out there right now with a plow on it. So that's what we actually had. I do have quotes to have both of those stickered. They will be done before Moxie Day. So, and then lights will be coming lights and sirens will be coming afterwards. So that's ongoing. Truck 6, I did get, since I wrote this report, I did get an update from them. The ladder update, as far as has been inspected, everything looks good there. They're starting to work on some of the blemishes that was corrosion issues that we had, and that's on track with and in contract with where we stood. So once that gets back, then we'll go back to somewhat of a normal operation with the ladder truck, and then we'll be sending engine 1 out to Appleton, Wisconsin for its refurb. So, also with that, as far as apparatus is concerned, Tank 9 is out of service. It has been out of service for a while. I did get multiple agencies or companies looking at that, along with Public Works. That truck is 40-something years old. We're going to have a sit-down. I'd like to have a sit-down workshop with the council and actually formulate a couple strategies as far as replacing trucks and what direction that we need to go in or would like to go in that enhances our truck replacement program and everything else to be able to see, you know, what direction we're at a point right now. Engine 7 is the next unit that's coming up. You know, Engine 2 is that kind of redheaded stepchild of the department type of thing. So I'm going to formulate a strategy, have something to propose to the council, a couple different things to propose to the council. And I'll talk it over with the town manager, of course, before we do that and be able to just sit down and see what direction we want to go in. That, I think, is a very workable, or should be a very workable discussion as far as the truck replacement program, because it does fall into that truck replacement program, and that's a working document throughout. So the whole 30 years of, hopefully 40 years that the truck replacement program works, long after I'm gone. So, if you've noticed, Warumbo Mill Building is still in progress. They're tearing that down. I don't know what the date was on that. I had heard before Moxie, but I don't know if that's still the. We have pre-planned that building. We have a couple different ideas on how we're going to, what we're going to do to that building if it does catch fire. Hopefully not. But most demolitions, large demolition buildings like that, lots of times end up with me standing there for a bunch of hours and making that happen. So our goal there is not to let the downtown burn if that does catch fire, and we'll do our best we can. And everybody that was at Gremmel's will have come to Lisbon. So we'll work on that. As I mentioned, we were in Gremmel's, and that's basically the nutshell, basically. So over the month. So any questions of me?
Thank you. You're all set, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief? Please be nice to us.
Too many rules. Too many rules.
hardly.
Not hardly.
Again, thank you for the earlier. Thank you very much, Dale. That's greatly appreciated. Last time I saw that, and I had visions of you looking like John Jalbert doing the same thing. But thank you again. And thank you for making it possible for me to retire on June 30th. I need you to go back in memory lane. For those of you who can, because I know there's one up there who can't. I need you to go back 30 years. You're abstained from this. But I need you to all go back 30 years. Go back 30 years. Think about it.
1986.
Where were you? Pardon?
1986.
Where were you? Now, I may not want to know.
Correct.
Yeah.
And where was the state? Where was the nation? Where was the world? Just think about 1986, 1987.
A lot of mullets.
Received the email from the manager reminding Chief Galpo and I that we had to give our brief oral reports. I chuckled. So bear with the new definition of brief. I'll go right to the May, mid-June report. And you know, those of you who've been around a long time, you know I've always been very statistic prone, and I don't make these up. They come out of the records management system. They come from the state. They are important. Calls for service in May totaled 944, which was a 27.4% decrease over May of 2015. It's the third month in the last 20 months we've experienced a decrease. However, don't expect it to continue on. June's calls for service are already above last June's calls for service. Year-to-date, the department's total calls for service has a 1.9% decrease compared to the same time period in 2015. But again, year-to-date, 2016 is 16.7% higher than 2014 and 20.3% higher than 2013. The comm center is showing the same type numbers. Year-to-date, they have an increase of 4.7%. And I have continually illustrated to you, month after month, the calls for service history of the departments, simply to make you aware that the request of law enforcement service and all public safety services in our community are not declining. Year after year, for the past several years, calls for service have been on the increase. The department received our 2015 Uniform Crime Report for Lisbon from the Maine Department of Public Safety in the month of May. A number of index crimes categories experienced increases over 2014. We had a 53.8% increase in assaults, with 100 reported in 2015 compared to 65 in 2014. Burglaries increased 41.2%, with 24 in 2015 and 17 in 2014. Larcenies increased 69.1%, with 93 in 2015 compared to 55 in 2014. Your total index crime increased 48.9% in 2015, with 131 crimes in 2014. Simple assault, which is not part of the index formula, simple assault increased 57.4%, with 96 in 2015 and 61 in 2014. Overall, Lisbon experienced a 52.3% increase in reported offenses in 2015. 52.3% increase. Again, these statistics from UCR Augusta reaffirm everything that I've been pointing out to you month after month, year after year, that we are not slowing down in Lisbon. Calls for service are constantly on the increase. Fortunately, And thank you, Captain Interim Chief, I don't know what your title is, Stewart, for your comment on the makeup of this department, because you do have good officers. They're doing the best job that they can with what they have available to them. With their approach in response to investigation of crime occurrences in Lisbon, the clearance rate in 2015 for all crimes was 59.1%. I can guarantee that number will be higher than the county and will be higher than the state of Maine average. I think there's only been 1 year in the last 20-some odd years that we have not been above the state average in that category. However, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that Lisbon will not receive the Top 10 Safe Cities Award next year because of all of these increases. During this reporting period, May through mid-June, officers of the department responded to 2 heroin overdoses. Both subjects survived. A number of motor vehicle burglaries were reported, and their investigation led to 2 juveniles being charged with the offenses. It was also learned during the investigation that these youths went through an estimated nearly 40 vehicles, yet only a half dozen were reported to the police. Also during this period, officers handled 45 domestic disorderly disturbance calls, 5 assaults, 15 larceny, forgery, fraud reports, 5 child abuse reports. A sex offender was arrested for reoffending. 12 warrants of arrest were executed. 13 burglar alarms responded to. Over 300 businesses were checked during the midnight shift. 79 residential property checks were conducted during day and evening shifts. 32 motor vehicle accidents were responded to. And I could go on and on and on, but I know I don't need to. On a proactive note, officers have been working with probation and parole and conducting house checks, which has led to numerous probation violations. And in an effort to curb juvenile alcohol consumption, a number of underage drinking enforcement details have been conducted, as well as store compliance checks. A note on the store compliance checks, which is very positive for our community. Every store that was checked in Lisbon passed. No violations. That's great. Continuing on the alcohol and juvenile topic, in early June, the police department, in conjunction with the school department and Healthy Androscoggin, participated in a national program titled Sticker Shock. School resource officer Renee Bernard, along with school advisor and some high school students, visited Lisbon Getty, Bootleggers, Extra Mart, Food City, Rite Aid, Big Apple, and Miller's Variety, and placed stickers and signs on alcohol beverages to educate adults about the consequences of providing alcohol to youth. The Public Safety Department's Police, Fire, and EMS Making the Right Call award ceremony was held before the entire student body at Lisbon Community School. 2 students were recognized for making the right call when they dialed 911 reporting emergencies that they were each involved in. One call was for a medical emergency of a family member, and the other was locating a lost child. This was the first recognition ceremony for making the right call, and I know that it will continue for many more years to come. The law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics was completed recently. Participating in the Lisbon leg of the run, which is conducted on Lisbon Street from the Lewiston town line to the top, some type of PD personnel, as well as 2 citizens. Representing the PD were Sergeants Moore and McGee, School Resource Officers Pickard and Bernard, and Dispatcher Jared Blake. All 7 of them ran the entire 6-mile length of the Lisbon leg. I know some of you had wished you could have been with them, but the following day, School Resource Officer Bernard represented our department at the Special Olympic Games opening ceremony at University of Maine Orono and assisted with the medal awards during the games. Now remember, where were you 30 years ago? Don't forget. Officer Andrew Levesque completed his field training period and has been assigned to the patrol schedule. He will remain on that schedule until he attends the Maine Criminal Justice Academy Basic Law Enforcement Program beginning in August. That is an 18-week program. He will be gone for 18 weeks. With Officer Levesque's placement on the patrol schedule, Detective Richard Sainamont was able to transfer from patrol to criminal investigations to begin his new assignment in CID. Detective Sainamont attended a 2-week drug investigation school during this report period. And continuing with personnel updates, School Resource Officer Jeff Pickard is elected to remain as the department's school resource officer next fiscal year. He will be the sole SRO assigned to our schools. The school department elected to cut their budget share of the second SRO position, Renee Bernard, from the FY7. The police department has had 2 SROs, one at Lisbon Community School and one at the high school, middle school campus for the past 15 years. The vacancy in communications was filled with the hiring of Mr. Joseph Lamont as a communications dispatcher. He is a veteran of the United States Air Force and lives in Durham with his wife and family. I have some numbers here. I mean, you can write them down or do whatever, but the number 15, I've already hit you with the number 30, and I have another number, 95.45%. 95.45%. The 15, you've already heard. Losing a school resource officer, position that we've had for 15 years. Never truly explained to me why. Reached out to try to get answers, but it is what it is. On this side, I guess I don't know if it was part of the smoke from last year's battle or what, I don't know, but we lost a school resource officer this year. What's also troubling is that you had a personnel study that was done a year ago, almost to this date, on the police department. And in that personnel study, it recommended a 14-person police department. The budget you adopted tonight, you have a 12-person police department. Last year, the council cut over $100,000 out of the police budget. It was lost in the smoke and the battle between the school department and the municipal side. I know it was. Everybody knows it was. Police department lost a cop, lost more than that, over $100,000. There was no battle this year. There was no discussion of it tonight. However, nearly another $80,000 is taken out of the police budget, and the police department loses another police officer position. 2 officers in 2 years. We're not connecting the dots. I don't know if you're picking up on the activity in Lisbon from my calls for service, from the UCR reports, but we're not connecting the dots. But that's your call. That's why I asked you to go back 30 years. If you can remember where you were 30 years ago, if you were in Lisbon, if you remember what Lisbon was like 30 years ago, or what our community and state was like 30 years ago. Why I bring up 30 years, those of the staff, my staff knows I keep way too many pieces of paper. This is a copy, my copy, of the fiscal year 86-87 police budget. Coffee stains, I still drink a lot of coffee today. In this budget, it was the first full fiscal year after the Board of Selectmen had increased the police department to 12 full-time officers. What saddens me, deeply saddens me, and greatly disappoints me, is that tonight the council knocked the police department back 30 years. Your actions have knocked us back 30 years. We're back to 12. And again, I don't understand how the dots are being connected. I truly don't. So to tell you that this is a bittersweet report, it is. It is my final monthly report. Your police department, since all these cuts have begun in the early 2000s, we've now lost 25% of our full-time staff. And again, I know the battle, for whatever reason, has been between the municipal side and the school side, and again, the police department gets lost in the formula. But I can rest assured that the school department has not lost 25% of their full-time staff over that same time period. The 95.45%, the 95.45% is the percentage of my adult life wearing the uniform of the Lisbon Police Department, Rep. Lisbon. 95.45% of my adult life. I've worked for this town. So, and there's been some ups and downs and there's been roller coasters. But I, again, am bothered by the roller coaster for some reason is on the downhill swing. And hopefully in the very near future, you'll fix this and let this department be where it should be, and 12 is not where it needs to be. There's people in this department now that are overmaxed on their workload, and it's not getting any better, and you're losing an officer for 3 months to go to the academy. When the budget process started, you added the 14th position back. That was cut last year. And today, we're down to 12. So, this will be my final monthly report. My upcoming retirement is June 30th, but today's only the 21st. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief.
For everything.
I'm sorry?
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Next item 12.
Is audience participation and response for new items.
Anybody? Audience participation? New items? Okay, next item 12.
Under appointments, order 2016-150, the Renewal Zoning Board of Appeals, Sean Carr.
I make that motion.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Order passed, 7-0. And order 2016-150, Renewal Library Governing Board, 2 applicants. Or do we have 1 applicant? We have 2? Just one? I guess we just have 1 applicant. Joe Jean Keller.
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Order passed, 7-0. Council Communications?
Anybody?
Nothing that comes to mind.
I got one thing, I hope. You don't mind me saying this, but the chief's father passed Saturday. So we all ought to keep everybody in our hearts and our prayers. And that's all I've got to say. Next item?
You have finished your agenda. The next item will be to adjourn, order 2016-151.
Need a motion?
I'll make that.
Need a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Order passed, 7-0.
I got one thing to say to Councilor Crafts is here. I'm still holding your seat. How'd that go? A little longer than I thought, but 9 o'clock ain't bad.